Hey everybody, Eric here with Just Eric Personal. um, Success. That's all I have to say. Really, I think the Lord, I definitely see that the Lord gave me patience tonight. Some atheists won't want me to say that or whatever. That's whatever, here nor there. Sorry, I thought I had something on me, but anyway, um, you know, I see that I was given patience tonight. You know, I was in a live chat. I had only planned to be in there for a couple of minutes, to let this one girl, or let this one woman know I was thinking about her and hoped that she was well and all that, that she would be okay. Having some money needs, I put up a video about it. Nadia. Okay, she's an atheist, but you know, went in to let her know, hope that everything's okay, eventually for her and all that. Turned into kind of a debate or whatever, a long drawn out conversation at least, about different things, what I believe and whatnot. Which is fine, I don't mind talking about what I believe. I like doing that, but some of the words that were used, at first I was like, hey, I don't know what that word means, eschatology and all that, and, I don't think, some of them knew how to rephrase the question, that's fine, but, and eventually, we got to the root, or not to the root, but, we started, being able to talk about, my eschatology or whatever. I guess I still don't know exactly what certain things mean. A lot of big words going out there. I don't know all these big words, and I'll admit it, and that doesn't make me stupid about my faith. It just means I don't know these big, freaking, big words, eschatology and all, whatever. Anyway, but a particular person in there kind of cracked me up. I don't know their name or anything like that, and they may or may not see this video. If they do, fine, whatever. But they wanted to ask me a bunch of questions, knowing I didn't know the answer, or how to answer them. This one guy wanted to ask me a bunch of questions, and at some point got pissed off because I wanted to, I had an answer at some point for him, but he didn't want to hear my answer, which I thought was hilarious, and very ignorant, by the way. It just showed this person's colors, that, they want to trap a Christian in something and not give the Christian a chance to respond, and they want to say the same thing the same old way and, make me out to be stupid when I don't know how to answer. I just think he didn't know how to ask it. You know, or maybe I didn't understand. I don't know. I was a little tired tonight, but, I mean, I got a lot of shit going on, but anyway, this guy was, and at some point, thank you, Nadia, if you watch this, thank you, because at some point she was like, hey, don't do this, don't say it in this way, don't do it, and this guy got really upset. He looked like he was gonna, start, sort of fit, I'm not trying to come on here and attack people, that's not what I'm doing, I'm just saying what I saw, and the face got kind of like, and he was crossing his arms and whatnot, and kind of threw himself back in his chair, um, I don't understand, when atheist has to do that or whatever, you, wanna, get pissed off because I'm not answering your, like, certain atheists want to get pissed off because I'm not answering their question, but then I answer the question and they don't like how I answer it. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? The question was about tax collectors, and, like, how to approach them or something. I don't know. I still don't even know what the guy was looking for. Um, but and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, it says the tax collector is a filthy sinner or whatever. But if you notice, he's like, no, 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 don't do that. Don't, dodge. Okay, all right, dude. I was like, but it talks about the Pharisee too, and the Pharisee was, oh, thank you that I'm not this filthy tax collector, and I was going to go on about Pharisees and tie that in, but he didn't want to hear that. Funny. I had an answer and he didn't want to hear it. Why? I actually had a good response. He didn't want to hear it, so I sat back and I laughed at you. You know? What else am I supposed to do? It's funny how ignorant people are and how stupid they are. How stupid they want to be. Maybe they're not stupid people. Like, I'm not. But their behavior is very juvenile. This guy definitely went on the attack, and you know, at least a couple of them kind of seemed like they went on the attack. Which is fine. Go ahead and attack me. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. You know, oh, don't you? Doesn't that show you that your faith is a little silly and it's delusional? And that no, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You haven't lived the life I have, buddy. You don't know what I've been through, and I've seen things that you don't know about, and you know, I guess that kind of sucks for you in some ways, but you know what? You wouldn't want to live my life, and I wouldn't want to live your life. That's the thing. I cannot show you a videotape like showing you going back through, rewind the footage exactly, so you can see what my life has been. And even if I could, that wouldn't show you what my life has been because you're not in my shoes. You're not looking through my eyes. You have no way to possibly know how I felt in those times, at those points, so on and so forth. You can never know exactly what my proof is, period. Okay, I can give you very close, and that's all I can do. That doesn't mean it's not good enough, it means it's not good enough for you. And it is good enough for some people. Um, I do the best I can. You know, but anyway, going back, um, Jesus didn't like the holier than thou. Since nobody can interrupt me, let me explain something to you guys. Jesus spoke against the Pharisees who thought that they were better, okay, than others because they were religious, okay, that they were religious, and they kept the letter of the law. Mm, Guarantee they had other things that they did. Anyway, oh, we have these many things that we keep and, on a daily basis. And, they blasphemed the Holy Spirit, though. They accused Jesus Christ of casting out demons by the power of Satan. Um, they obviously didn't believe. Okay, Jesus looked at a prostitute. Okay, okay, when a prostitute was brought forth. Okay, a prostitute. Jesus, this person was, who is without sin cast the first stone. Remember that? You didn't want to bring that one up, did you? Um, so what was your agenda with the tax collector? I still don't understand what your question was. You didn't state it in a way that made any sort of coherent sense to me. Okay? What was your question? Like, you're pissed off at tax collectors? You're pissed off at police? What's your point? I don't know. Um, and you want to ask about, well, don't I have a case? No, you don't. Actually, no, you don't, because you're an atheist. Okay, you have religious freedom in this. And you sounded like you were in England, actually. So, I don't know what it is like there, but here in the United States of America, we have religious freedom. I don't know about you guys. Alright. But if you are not a Christian, no, I don't think you have a case, actually, because you are arguing from a standpoint of a book that you don't even believe in. So why are you bringing my holy book into your argument? Aren't you just as bad, if not worse, than the not so-called, but aren't you just as bad, if not worse, than the Christians that I guarantee you get pissed off at for cherry picking what they believe and don't believe? Aren't you just as bad, if not worse? I would call you worse, actually, in a way, because you're an atheist, and so what are you telling me now? You believe in the Holy Bible now that it benefits you, or what? Like, I don't see, that doesn't make sense. Whatever you're trying to get at does not make sense at all. And I think you need to get your head straight. Before you want to get ticked off at a Christian for actually answering your question, by the way. The fact that I was actually going to answer your question. I was actually going to answer you. But you didn't like that, I don't think, is why you got ticked off. And Nadia, again, thank you for going after that, that he made a statement that there is none, He said that he didn't, not even that he didn't believe that there was a God, but that there is no, That's what he said. So at that point, I can say, prove it to me that there isn't. You can't. You cannot, and I think that was possibly your point, Nadia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that your point? You cannot prove that there's no God. And, I have my experiences, and I can say, based on my experiences, the Christian God is right. Now, that being said, I can give you my evidence, okay? My proof, and some of you will say, well, it doesn't convince me, so therefore it's not proof. Okay, well, you have the right to say that. Okay, I don't exactly know how that works. You present, evidence in court. Each side has evidence, or, what they call evidence or whatever. The judge finds in favor of one side. Doesn't mean they don't have good evidence. But as people, we pick and choose what we do or don't believe, as far as the evidence goes and all that. And I'm kind of starting to think, well, maybe this is what is this why I wonder if this is going to be what the live chat's going to be on Thursday. Anyway, with Robert. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but, or maybe that's tonight's live chat. I don't know. Anyway, it seemed like he mentioned that. Sorry if I'm wrong, Robert, if you see this. But that live chat to me was just like, kind of, it passed time. I appreciated being in there, actually, and getting the questions, they made me a part of it, and I appreciate that, I was only planning on being in there a couple minutes, but they made me a part of it, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, everybody, even the people who wanted to come at me. Thank you. That's fine. But, my point is, like, grow up. Some of you atheists need to grow up, and some Christians need to grow up too, but, and I may have gotten irritated a few times, I don't know, I hope not, but, I was irritated, don't get me wrong, but I was trying to be quiet about it, like, I was just sitting there like, okay, like, that was me being, like, okay, cool, like, I didn't yell, and, I believe isn't the what let me see. Let me look something up here. Um, all right. Uh, fruits of the Holy Spirit. Fruits of the Spirit. Me. Uh, okay. You know, peace, long-suffering, kindness, faithful, gentleness, self-control. I was pretty gentle in there. I was pretty self-controlled. So, I guess I'm exhibiting some fruits of the Spirit, huh? Which, to me would be some evidence that, I mean, to me, alright, I'm not saying you accept it, but to me that's evidence. Look at Galatians 5:22 through 23, alright? To me, you know, I mean, and I told Nadia, I was like, I still love you, and I meant it. I meant it. Like she was a cool girl. You're like, like, hey Nadia, enjoyed talking to you. I really did. Like you were pretty nice to me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. Like, good on you. Thank you. I really appreciate that, and I love you as a person. I love even the guy who wanted to, get pissy towards me. And some of you will be thrown off a little bit, maybe, because I'm saying pissy and stuff like that. But anyway, hopefully not. Lord forgive me if it throws anybody off. But I see that and I mean, I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Getting so many questions and whatever. I wasn't ready for it. But I was pretty peaceful. I have a lot of joy that I went in there. And that I showed some good stuff. I was faithful. I stuck to my faith. I think I was. I think I showed some good stuff. Maybe hopefully some fruits of the Spirit. And so you want some proof? Maybe there you go. And if you don't accept it, that's on you. I mean, you know, but I mean, what else can I say? What else can I say? I was gonna go to bed quite some time ago, or maybe not quite some time, but anyway, been a little irritated. Try not to let. I mean, mostly actually cracked up about it, but a little irritated. But I've listened to a couple songs and stuff, but and kind of preparing for tomorrow. But anyway, I love when atheists wanna, you know, um, oh, we're all about knowledge. We're all about knowledge. Then they make a claim, that there is no God or whatever. They make a claim and they say that there's no God, but they don't back it up. They, okay, prove to me. That's what I want you to do. Prove to me without a shadow of a doubt that there isn't. You can't. You cannot. Sorry. Doesn't work that way, buddy. And Nadia put it really well. You cannot go throughout the whole entire universe and, like, just research upon research. You can't. To go into all the universe and be like, okay, well, I've checked I've checked all the galaxies, I've checked everything, and to prove that there isn't, you can't. Okay, you can say you believe there's no God, and that's your right. You can say you believe there's no God, and guess what? Sorry, but it is depending on how you say it, I guess. But as I see it, you believe that there's no God. Okay, and you know what? There, to me, there is. Okay, there is a God. I've seen things in the Holy Bible that I go by logic, and I'm like, I have faith, but I also have logic. I'm not a stupid person. Okay, I've looked at things. You know, for the wages of sin is death. Like, I'll have a series on that. Now, granted, some things you might, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I won't go into it. Like, some things you might be like, well, it's far-fetched, but I don't care, whatever. Um, Hopefully it won't. I mean, I have to, go through and whatever, but, it's just like, I'm getting off topic here. Kind of like the conversation did multiple times tonight. Going on to multiple topics, one after the other, and going back to another, and, veering off that and going to another, and coming back, and, um, was your point to try and confuse me so I wouldn't have an answer so you would pwn me? I noticed you guys thought you pwned me, but honestly, I think you guys just made yourself look dumb. I mean, that's my personal opinion. You made yourself look ignorant and stupid and just not very intelligent. You made yourself look childish to me. So if you want to look at that as a pwn, cool. Go for it. You pwned me with nothing. Except for the fact that you can say I don't know everything about my faith. What Christian does? No Christian follows the Bible all the way through. Okay? You can try and try and try, and it's not going to happen. There's none who is righteous, no, not one. Like there's not one righteous. Okay? And it says that if anybody says they are without sin, they are a liar. And the truth is not in them. If anybody claims to be without sin, they are a liar, and the truth is not in them, period. Okay? So, if you want to look down on a Christian, as an atheist, if you want to look down at me as a Christian, because I don't know everything, go for it, buddy. Like, come on. Like, okay, dude. Go for it. Look down on me. You already do. Doesn't bother me. Okay. I think it's funny. I wanted to make this video to kind of rant on it because I mean, what bugs me is not that you look down on me, it's that you look down on me, yet you make stupid claims yourself, that you say that there isn't, period. And guarantee if I asked you for proof, you wouldn't have it. Or you'd get ticked off, or you would raise your voice, or whatever, like the Amazing Atheist did with Brett Kane. I couldn't even. No, I couldn't. I listened to like half an hour of it, and I had a headache. And I have a headache now from being in that live chat. From being in this one. With this guy. But anyway, like, atheists, get mad at Christians for not having proof, but then they say, or saying that there is a God and saying that their God is right, and that's it. But what do you say? You say that, a lot of atheists, not all, okay? A lot of atheists I have seen, including a lot, at least well, no, I can't say that. At least one in there, the one I'm talking about, said that there isn't. Period. Okay. Well, alright, cool. Not cool, but, I mean, really, like, I appreciated that, like, Nadia took care of it. Like, she pwned you. And you got upset by it, and you're like, oh, well, I want you to, and you threw a fit, I want you to get on this guy, get on them next time they make a definite claim, and, You got mad because I mentioned grace. It was part of the answer, that I said, oh, there is grace. I don't even understand why that irritated you. You got mad that I'm talking about grace. Do you want answers from Christians? No. You really don't. You don't want answers. You don't want answers. You're ignorant if you, or I don't know. Like, I don't know what to call people like that. You don't want it, okay? Because I gave you that, and all of what I said you wanted to get mad about, dude. Like, you got irritated because I was talking about grace and forgiveness and stuff, and do you know anything about the Bible, dude? Like, read it. Read it. It's in there. It talks about grace and mercy, and that we're under grace. That a Christian is under grace, and that there's none that are perfect, and we don't, Christians don't fully, I mean, you want it, like, I don't understand how that, and I don't understand how that's in the same league of what you were saying, which is you said that there isn't a God. Um, um, again, back to Nadia. She is actually intelligent, and I appreciate that. She said it's not verifiable and falsifiable. You cannot do, okay, I can't, okay, I cannot say, okay, I can't say, okay, God's right there. Now I can tell you, look around, there's evidence of God. And that, I do believe that's a good answer, that if you look around, there's evidence of God. I believe that's a good answer to it, okay? Look around. Nature, like, the complexity of nature tells me, that's one of my logical things, that it tells me that there's a God, and looking at the Holy Bible and things in there, and what's happened in my life and whatever, and using logic, the Christian God is right, okay? Now, I cannot run tests and show you by running tests that there is. That doesn't mean that absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. I'm sure you've heard it a lot of times, and some of you might laugh at me for using it. I don't know, but I definitely think that's good. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Sorry, it's not. Okay, it's just not. Okay, it's just not. Sorry, not sorry actually, but I don't know why I'm saying I'm sorry, because I'm not. You can't go throughout all the galaxies, universe, all that, and show me that there isn't. And I can't say, I can say, look at the complex, and I have said, look at the complexity of things. To me, that's evidence. I can, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, just me talking, this, anything I want. You might not accept even 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, okay, a full live chat of just me talking, you might not even accept, of evidence. Things that I hold as evidence, you might not accept, because you were set in your ways, okay? I have seen things in my life that are evidence, okay? And I will give that to you as compelling, in as compelling of a way as possible, and whatever. And it doesn't mean you're going to accept it. You have a responsibility whether or not you accept things. Period. And somebody can, you know, Robert Copeland put up a video about a prayer journal. I mean, that might be evidence to that person. And I do believe in answer prayers. I do. I absolutely do. But Robert, you posed the question. Okay, well, you could make some things up. Well, yeah, you could. Don't know why a person would. I mean, that's a very skeptical thing to say. Then again, you're a skeptic. Okay. Um, but, right. To be fair, a person could just put that stuff in there. Absolutely. Dates, times, all that. Whatever. Alright. They could. They could. Okay. But that's an example that I'm putting out here. You know, that video, I'm putting out there, as something from, I guess G-Man's journal, which I don't have a problem with G-Man or Brett Keane. Actually, I have quite enjoyed some of Brett Keene's videos. He seems pretty level-headed in his videos, and even in his live chats. I haven't seen him yet, and if he has, then I haven't seen it. But uh, anyway, yeah, I mean, see, that's evidence to G-Man though, not to you, Robert. And this video is not to you, Robert, but just putting you in there, real quick. My point is, here's some evidence. I mean, I haven't given evidence in this video necessarily or anything, but I can make a video testimony, which I do want to put my testimony up at some point. You cannot refute my testimony, and you know, uh, you can't say it's wrong because you don't know, and you can't prove it's wrong. You can't prove it. Okay, it's right, but I cannot show you footage. If we're thinking logically, I cannot. Okay, let's roll the footage. Look, and even if I did that, I'd have to put you in my shoes, like in my body, in my, I'd have to put you in that position. From my perspective, you'd have to be me to know how that felt and what went on and blah 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 blah. You'd have to live my life. Um, what is sufficient evidence? All atheists, I want you to answer this. Who watch this? What is sufficient evidence to you? What is it? Because I really don't know at this point, okay? Now, I'm going to continue to give my evidence and my apologetics and whatever, and I'll continue to refine my arguments. Robert, you do well at, being nice and, tell me, okay, well, you have good points, and I appreciate that, thank you, but you could change these things, and I think about those things, and I refine and whatever. I do or I don't. I mean, I do and I don't. Long thing there, but sorry this is going on so long. It just really, the behavior of atheists really gets to me sometimes. Not gets to me as in it hurts my feelings necessarily or anything like that. It's just like you claim to be a really 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 intelligent, like logical, intelligent person. Um, do you really think that logically you ought to be acting like a child? Do you think that you're going to deconvert me? No. Um, do you logically think that you are going to make um, me answer your question and that you're going to get the exact answer you want? If so, not only are you prideful, but you know what? You don't want my answer. You want the answer you want. So you're not actually seeking. anything. You're set in your ways. You want to believe or not believe, however you want to put that. Okay, you want to believe that there isn't a God, and or you want to not believe. However you want to put that, whatever. Okay. Um, to me, it would take more, and I hate to even say it this way, but you know, at this point, especially at this point, it it it, you know, I'd have to have quite a bit of faith to deconvert. Okay, if I were to, I mean, I can't do it. There's too much evidence for me to believe. Okay, period. Um, now that can open up a can of worms. That, oh, it takes more faith to not believe or whatever. Which I do feel weird for saying for multiple reasons. I mean, I have a lot of faith in the Lord. My faith gets stronger and stronger and stronger as my life goes on. I am a logical person, but I have faith, and I have saving faith. I have saving grace. I believe in Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior of my soul, and that He died for my sin. I mean, Jesus died for my sins, and rose again on the third day. I believe that with all I am. I will go to heaven. I know I will. Um, period. I confess Him as my Lord and Savior, and I'm not ashamed of that. Period. Um, but you know what? I don't know. Like, uh, rethink your methods. Rethink your methods, and stop being ignorant. Stop being a crybaby. I mean, this is getting into calling you some things, I guess. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest. Um, as somebody was like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but this is going over his head. Yep, some things did definitely go over my head. That's absolutely fine. And you, whoever said that, you were being a dick. Uh, sorry. Forgive me, Lord, please. Um, I don't know. Like, I'm sorry if I seem like I'm attacking, and I'm, maybe just a little bit too frustrated by the behavior of others, and I'm tired. I'm sorry for calling whoever a dick just now. I'm sorry, I am, but it's like, um, I don't know. Like, I'm convinced that the only thing that is gonna save y'all is a miracle. Some of you that want to be so set in your ways that it's like that you're honestly going to attack, and that you're even going to throw a fit when you're corrected by another atheist who is going to, like, maybe that's what offended you. She stood up for a Christian, which I respect greatly. She's an atheist who stood up for a Christian. Okay? She realized you're wrong. Falsifiable and verifiable? No. I mean, they're not. It's not. You can't falsify my faith. You cannot. But, um, yes, it is faith for a reason. Okay, I will accept that. You, absolutely, it's faith for a reason. Doesn't mean there's no logic behind it. If you decided today to become a Christian and seek with all your heart, seek with all you are. It says in the Bible to seek with everything you are. Okay? Um, okay, you can't do it half-heartedly. You have to fully be committed to this, to being a Christian, to seeking the Lord. You have to fully be committed to it. Otherwise, it's gonna be a half, like, it's gonna, doesn't mean anything if you're not fully committed. Um, And, you know, a lot of atheists went, well, you know, I was fully... No, you weren't. Sorry. You weren't. You were not fully committed to it. Something. I don't know. You know, I don't know. It just... Ay, ay, ay. There is at least some atheists. One I can mention right now is C.S. Lewis. But there's been at least a couple others, I'm sure, who have just exhausted all their arguments against Christianity. They've went through all their arguments against Christianity to the point where they proved it to be correct in their own mind. Like, they proved it to be correct, you know. They, you know, I mean, C.S. Lewis went through tons and tons and tons of arguments and realized how delusional they are. How unbelievably delusional they are. And, realized that Christianity is right, you know. He became a Christian. He was an atheist. He was a pretty hardcore atheist, I guess. So, I don't know. You can arrive at it, at being a Christian, after being a hardcore atheist. You know? Brett Keane did, somehow. You know, the Lord, of course, got a hold of him. You know, I know how. You know, the Lord got a hold of him. But, dude, I saw video, like, Brett Keane showed video of what he used to be and what he is now. Oh, night and day difference. He looked very hateful, even with the sunglasses on and just the effects he was using. Like, I could tell without talking. You could tell he was just like, oh, man. He said that they... Forgive me, Lord. That they called him the God Killer or something. Like, wow, that's... He must have been a hardcore... I didn't see his atheist videos. I looked him up. I hate the blasphemy behind atheism and stuff. I don't hate the people. Okay? I enjoy talking to people. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I enjoy talking to people, especially if they're level-headed. Like, I'm really enjoying talking to Robert Copeland. Level-headed, admits that, you know, it could be God. At least he admits it could be, you know. You know, but hey, I'll convince you if I can. And, I mean, you know, may the Lord convince you through me. You know, I just tell you my evidence and whatever. I can't convince you of anything. It's the Lord that does the convincing, and He'll do His part. But anyway, rather. So, where was I going? Sorry, I'm tired. I had to get this off my chest, though. Like, there have been some atheists who are really pretty hardcore, but have come to arrive at you know, being God-believing and you know, have started to believe in Jesus Christ, and whatnot, or not and whatnot, but you know what I mean. But I mean, in a way, actually, I guess I can be seeking with all your heart. You know, but you really, I don't know, just, let me look this up. Okay, let me, sorry this is so long, everybody. Psalm 14:1. For the director of music of David, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. Their deeds are vile. There is no one who does good. The fool says in their heart, there is no God. Okay, the fool says in their heart, there is no God. I mean, you're a fool if you say there is no God. Okay? For one, you look stupid. I think you can apply that logically. Psalm 14:1. You can apply that logically. You will just look bad because you can't exhaust all options of looking throughout, the universes or whatever. You can't do it. Sorry. Doesn't work. So, you can't say it. Logically, you cannot say it. You can say it, but you'll look bad. But also, if you say there's no God, at the end, you're going to be judged. Okay? I'm already sealed, let me also look this up. Who does not believe is condemned already. John 3:18. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe stands condemned already, because they have not believed in the name of God's one and only Son. John 3:18. Alright. I'm fine, but, the non-believer stands condemned already. So, I mean, now anybody can believe, there's, again, we can go back to the thing of original language, and, that the English leaves out some, that we have certain words that, they had actually more words in the Hebrew and Greek and all that than we do. And I hope I didn't get it wrong that, I don't know if Greek, if agape is Greek, or maybe it's Greek. I think I said it was Hebrew, so I apologize if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But yeah, there are multiple reasons I believe a person is a fool for saying that there isn't a God. So, and I think it just made somebody look silly tonight. So anyway, that's all my thoughts about this live chat tonight. It was good. It was cool. I enjoyed going in there. Thank you, Nadia, for letting me stay in there and talking to me. And, I'm sorry I couldn't answer some of your questions and stuff. But be willing to talk to you again. If you want to talk through message or whatever, that's, some interference, I think, but also it's like, you would ask a question at some point, and he would come in and try to ask a question at the same time, and you let him talk, and, so I'm like, there's all these questions coming at me, I'm like, need a minute to breathe. I think is another reason I'm just like, I just bombarded. Like, I was the one person in there getting the questions. Like, there's one other Christian in there, but that's about it. The rest were atheists. So, I was being bombarded with questions. So, is it any wonder that I was having maybe a little bit of trouble? Give me a break, please. Everybody who was in there, give me a break, and don't think I'm too stupid, because I was being bombarded, and I honestly did the best I could, and I think that hopefully my patience and everything speaks more highly of me than anything, that I was patient with people and everything. So just yeah. Alright, peace out, everybody. See ya. And to you atheists, don't don't attack, don't be stupid, don't, don't ask a question and get ticked off about the answer. That's really stupid. That's really, really stupid. Like, you, whether you think that a Christian is dodging or not, doesn't matter, okay? They're answering your question how they're answering your question. If you don't like it, then don't ask. Don't ask. Like, you have a simple, way out of that. Don't ask. If you know that they're going to answer in a way you don't like, why would you ask anyway? You gave me the verse, and it mentioned two different people. Okay? I was addressing both sides. I was going to, but you shut me up, and I laughed, and that was that. I laughed at you because it was funny that you got so irritated about the fact that I was actually going to answer your question. I see it as a win. I see tonight as a win for me. The Lord allowed me to hold my own, and whether it looked like it or not, because I had some good patience and stuff, and so thank you everybody for allowing me to exhibit my patience and everything like that. I didn't yell, I didn't scream, I didn't, I mean, I called a couple names in here, and I'm sorry, but it was stupid, okay? The actions were stupid and jerkish and childish, the actions, actions speak, so, you look how you look, and, you didn't look well, didn't look good. Or, yeah, you didn't look good. I don't know. But yeah.